Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Steins Gate. We're back here again. This is right after the conference that we went to that just so happened to have Makase Kurisu leading the conference, which was unexpected, and we learned quite a lot about time travel theories and the theory of relativity and stuff like that, and how, for the most part, it seems, at least at first glance, seems impossible. At least according to current theories. I'll give it that. And we basically just got out of the conference, so we're going to keep going. After the two time travel theories she introduced at the beginning, she explained the rest with equal eloquence. She seemed a little nervous at first, but that quickly changed as she spoke. By the end, it was an impressive lecture. So impressive that you wouldn't think it was an 18-year-old girl's first time. She did well to respond to my malicious questions with sarcasm. She's got guts. Wait, why am I praising her? Leaving that aside, I saw Makase Kurisu dead. And yet, she is alive. My memories don't mesh with reality. And not just about Kurisu. My conversations with Dario and Mayuri didn't make sense either. Everything would be solved if I just told myself that what I saw was a dream. An illusion. It never happened. But never say never. This leaves me with no choice. After parting ways with Dario at ATF, I headed to the Yanabayashi shrine. I need to get exercised. I seriously doubt that Makase Kurisu at ATF was a ghost. Regardless, it's natural to seek an exorcism after such an experience. I'm Japanese, it's in our blood. Yanabayashi Shrine is located on the other side of the Kanda River. To find it, enter the first side road after crossing Manasebashi Bridge. It's a very small shrine that doesn't fit with the surrounding multi-tenant buildings. Kanda Myoji is the more famous shrine in Akaba, but I deliberately chose this one. The shrine is so small, you could easily miss it if you weren't looking. Regardless, I can hear the chirping of cicadas from the few trees growing here. There are two girls standing in front of the main building. One of them is Mayuri. The other is a docile-looking beauty in traditional Miko attire. Urashibara Ruka. And, I'm used to her name being Ryuka, but I think it has something to do with dialects in terms of how Japanese and how English is said. So I'll just call her what it says in here, but I may get mixed up a few times. A stunning example of feminine charm and grace. Lips delicate like cherry blossoms in bloom. The essence of Japanese beauty. The chief priest's son. That's right, son. Lovely in every way, but he's a guy.
Okabe-san, konnichiwa.
He bows his head. The voice of a girl, the mannerisms of a girl. More feminine than any girl I know. But he's a guy. Taller than Mayuri, yet oh so slender. But he's a guy. I love this character. She's really good too, or he's really good too. Looks stunning in Miko robes. But he's a guy. Holding a bamboo broom, apparently in the middle of cleaning. But he's a guy. It's almost evening, yet still hot as heck outside. But he's a guy. Cicadas won't shut up. But he's a guy. It's a guy.
お前、俺が与えた刀はどうした?
He's a friend of mine. I call him Lukako. We met when I rescued him from some aggressive photographers in Akiba's pedestrian haven. It also so happens that Lukako and Mayuri are classmates. I learned that fact after I had gotten to know him. Lukako is taken aback by my sharp question. He starts fidgeting with a flushed face and tears in his eyes.
妖刀さみだれのことですよね。
そうだ。あれはお前の力を制御するために買ってやったのだぞ。
ああ、秋葉の武器屋本舗で買ったやつでしょ。980円だっけ。
マユリ、それ以上言うと奴らに消されるぞ。この件については口を出すな。
They will come to silence you for trying to say how much the sword cost.
消されちゃうの？おかり、心配してくれてありがとう。でも奴らって誰かな？
I ignore Mayuri's question.
それでルカ子よ、妖刀さみだれはちゃんと使っているのか？
はい、1日1回は素振りを。
あれを持ち、精神三魔流を極めさえすれば、お前は己の内にある邪悪な炎に焼かれずに済む。
Demon sword Samidare may be an imitation sword, but that is only the form it takes to hide from the world. When one worthy to wield it appears, it unleashes its true power. And it was on sale for only 980 yen, tax included.
あんな素敵なものをプレゼントしてもらえて、岡部さんには感謝しています。
俺は岡部ではない。
おかりんだよ。ごめんなさい、京馬さん。
分かればいいのだ。では合言葉を。
エルブサイコンガリュウ？
違う、コンガ流ではなくコングルーだ。
Which is another funny localization thing. I've listened, I've watched both the subbed and the dubbed anime. In the dubbed anime, they have her say "El Sai Concrete," which is one of my favorite lines as well.
はい、エルブサイコングルー。これでいいですか？
Lukako smiles happily as I nod.
ありがとうございます。
Such a lovely smile. But he's a guy.
美しい師弟関係だね。へへへ。マユシーは不女子じゃないけど、ちょっとドキドキしてきちゃうよ。マユリちゃん、変な想像しないで。
Jeez. Though we do have a master-disciple relationship. I, Ho and Kiyoma, have gone to great lengths to brainwash, to teach Lukako about the evil conspiracies that rule the world and how to resist them. That stuff about Demon Sword Samadari is part of that training. Looks aside, Lukako is very obedient and hardworking. Plus, he's always eager to learn new things. A master couldn't ask for a better disciple. Though he does have the weakness of not catching on too quickly and being too shy.
それでなぜマユリはここにいる？
ルカ君に会いに来たんだよ。来月のコミマでライネットのキラリちゃんコスをしてほしいってずっと頼んでるのに、ちっとも OK してくれないんだよ。だってコスプレするなんて僕恥ずかしいよ。でもルカ君は絶対似合うと思うんだ。こんな可愛い子が女の子のはずがないって大人気になるよ。ねえ、しようよ、コスプレデビュー。
Mayuri's hobby is making costumes. She's made at least 30 so far, but it's rare for her to wear one herself. Instead, she seems to get her kicks from seeing other people wear them. And it looks like she's chosen Lukako as her next target. Naturally, the costume Mayuri is currently raving about is for a female character. Normally, I wouldn't understand why a man wouldn't want to dress like a girl. I would understand why a man wouldn't want to dress like a girl. But come on, Lukako has no problem wearing Miko robes. Why should cosplay be any different? But whatever, I have business to take care of.
そんなくだらないことは後でやるんだな。
マユシーにとっては大事なことだもん。
俺にとってはくだらないことなのだ。それよりルカ子よ、俺がこの神社を訪ねたのは他でもない。お祓いを頼みたいのだが、やってもらえないだろうか。
お祓いですか？だったらお父さんに。
いや、そこまで大げさにしなくていい。気休めでいいのだ。
That's why I came here instead of Kanada Shrine.
というわけで、例のあれを持ってこい。
例のあれと言いますと、さみだれですか？
違う。お祓いに用途は必要ないだろう。お祓いと言ったらあれに決まっている。正式な名称はわからんが、棒に白い紙がふさふさとついていて、神主が
The
わさわ
zigzaggy
さと
paper
振るやつだ。
thingies that the priest does the shaky thing with.
今のオカリンの説明、ゆとりっぽいね。
Quite a shock to hear that from Mayuri.
あ、おほぬさですね。でも、お父さん貸してくれるかな。ちょっと聞いてきます。
Lukako makes a quick bow, then runs off towards his house, which is on the shrine grounds. Meanwhile, Mayuri takes her pocket watch out of her bag to check the time. It's a very old watch, not the sort you'd expect a high school girl to carry. Its name is Pockety. Obviously, that's the name Mayuri gave it, not its brand name or anything. Ever since elementary school, Mayuri has carried Pockety with her everywhere. It's her most important treasure.
じゃあ、マユシーはこれからバイトだから、もう行くね。
そうか、頑張ってこい。バイトが終わったら直接帰るのか？
Mayuri lives in Ikebukuro. Kuro? Yeah. She comes to Akaba by train just about every day. It should be obvious since we're childhood friends and all, but I live in Ikebukuro too. Though I've been staying at the lab since summer break began.
というわけで、また明日ね。
I call Mayuri to stop before she trots off.
マユリ、お前はあの時ラジカンで男の悲鳴を聞いたよな。
悲鳴？
Mayuri blinks several times and puts her finger to her temples, as if in thought. Then she gives me her usual smile.
それっていつのこと？
今日の昼だ。
聞いてないかな。
Sorry, phone call. Be right back. Okay, back again. Sorry about that.
そうか。わかった。
変なオカリー。じゃあね、トゥットゥルー。
Mayuri leaves, this time for good, though she pauses to wave at least a half dozen times before disappearing beyond the archway.
岡部さん、お待たせしました。
Lukako returns shortly after Mayuri leaves. In its hands is the white zigzaggy thing I asked for.
借りることができました。よかったです。あれ？まゆりちゃんは帰ったんですか？
マユリはどうでもいいから、今すぐお祓いを始めるのだ、ルカ子よ。
はい。僕でいいんでしょうか。そもそも何に対するお祓いを？
Lukako is flustered. Is he really up to this? I'm beginning to doubt. I should have known better. The instant doubt touches my heart, a terrible chill shoots up my spine.
俺に取り付いた悪霊が。
I grab my violently shaking wrist.
静まれ、悪霊よ。急げ、ルカ子。このままでは俺は乗っ取られる。
そんな、岡部さん、しっかりしてください。
俺は岡部さんではない。
すいません、京馬さん。でも僕、どうしたら？
お祓いを急げ。この前教えた通りに。
So dramatic.
はい。
With a serious look on his face, Lukako grasps the Onusa with both hands as if it were a sword. His stance is impressive. I've taught him well. His face is red, and he can barely talk. It looks as though he wants to say something, but is hesitating. Panicking because he feels awkward? Amateur. That, like, really serious, like, voice in the background music is kind of funny in comparison to the scene. Lukako starts crying. Looks like he's really worried. Reason tells me he's a guy, but his lovely appearance makes me feel guilty, like I made a frail girl cry. But despite the tears welling up in his eyes, it looks like Lukako's managed to work up his resolve. He raises the Onusa up high, shaking it left and right. Now strike my arm with those zigzags. The tip of the Onusa touches my upper arm. In an anime, this would be the cue for some dramatic shockwave to occur, but nothing like that happens. The only sound is the chirping of cicadas. I take a deep breath. The trembling in my arm has stopped. Lukako sighs in relief and blushes. His shy smile really does make him look like a girl. After I get back to the lab, I take the broken TV down to the Brawn Tube workshop for repairs. So that was an interesting scene, wasn't it? And that's your introduction to Lukako, who will be an important character, as you may have guessed. Daru and Mayuri have already gone home, so I have to carry the TV down the narrow staircase by myself. It's brutal, backbreaking work, but I manage. I push the workshop door open with my hips and head inside. The room is dimly lit by the setting sun, but the gloom is offset by the glare from the gigantic CRTV in the center of the room. A 24-inch CRT television. It doesn't seem like something you could get in modern Japan. With LCD TVs becoming the new standard, I seriously doubt anyone would want to buy a bulky old CRT.
Oh,
I like this guy, he's pretty cool. Sitting in front of the huge CRT is an equally huge man reading a sports newspaper. He's the workshop's manager, actually the owner of this whole building. Tenoji Yugo. I call him Mr. Brawn. It's a fitting name for someone who loves brawn tubes and looks like a big, brawny type of guy. Well, it's kind of because you hit it. I barely managed to set the heavy TV on the counter. A muscle-bound bald guy talking about love. It sends shivers down my spine. Mr. Braun begins investigating the cause of the problem. With nothing better to do, I look around the store. Let's check our mail. From Mayuri. Upa is super popular, you know? Even more popular than the hero, Karyu-kun. They're so cute, I want to collect them all. It's like how you used to collect black fingerless gloves. Ugh. Really? I did? Don't sell it. I want to learn more about these black fingerless gloves. Wait, attachment. Oh gosh, that is like incredibly creepy. Reinet's mascot. Ugh, don't ever want to see that. Indeed, but you must never speak of that to anyone else. It was necessary to seal the abomination lying dormant in this right arm of mine. Let's send that. That's interesting, okay. I have no idea what effect that'll have on the story, or if it's just, like, extra dialogue, but that's hilarious. With nothing better to do, I look around the store. I don't know if it's just the dust hanging in the air, but something feels stagnant about this place. It's probably the stagnant old TVs. There are CRTV screens everywhere. The haphazard layout makes them seem like junk, but they're all functional, according to Mr. Braun. He's got a full range of both old and new. Some of them are probably older than me. There are even some flat screen and HD CRTVs that came out just before the LCD took the market.
今日は遅くまでやっているんですね。普通だったら夜7時には店じまいでしょ。
The crowds in Akiba thin quickly at night. All the major electronic stores close at around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then, as if the liveliness of the day was simply a lie, the town goes silent.
今日はこれから客が来るんでな。
客？例の小動物ですか？
おめえな、俺の愛しい娘を小動物呼ばわりするんじゃねえ。
The manager glares at me and takes a photo from his wallet. It's a picture of a young girl, slyly making a peace sign at the camera. One might assume this muscle-bound man to be some kind of pervert, but the girl is actually his daughter. She's about 12 years old now, I think. His love for her is second only to his love for CRTs. Or was it the other way around? I see her in the store every now and again. What was her name again?
ないに手出したら
Nai.
殺すからな。
That's it, Nai. A rare name that means to braid. She pops up at the store now and again, so we've interacted with her before. And by we, I mean Mayuri, since she's the only one Nai gets along with. Nai always hides when she sees me or Daru. I must admit, I'm impressed she can sense my aura of madness at such an early age. Mr. Braun makes a grandiose kissing gesture at his daughter's photo. Once again, shivers down my spine.
しかし、娘以外でこの工房に客が来ることがあるんですか？
I've been renting the second floor for about 6 months, but I don't recall ever seeing a customer. I would be surprised if this place were actually making any money.
客っつがなんつか。
He puts away the photo and goes back to checking the TV, leaving me with that vague answer.
ああ、これは多分基板のハンダ浮きだな。直せろぜ。
そうですか。ではよろしく。
待ってろ。見積もり書作ってやる。
金を取るのか？
当たり前だろ。払わねえつもりだったのか。
このテレビはあなたからもらったものだぞ。
だからなんだよ。アフターサービスまでタダでやってやるとは言ってねえぜ。
おのれ。寿命間近のオンボロを押し付けておいて、その言い草とは。
うるせえな。だったら人ってやってもいいんだぞ。家電リサイクル法で回収費ももらうけどな。
横暴だぞ。人類史の未来を変えるやもしれぬ男からたかろうとは。
ああ？それ誰のことだ？
俺のことに決まっているでしょう。
歯磨いて寝ろよガキ。そもそも2階をただ同然で貸してやってるこの俺にそういうこと言うとはいい度胸だな。
修理代は弾もう、ミスター・ブラウン。
In the end, I'm no match for him. Just then, I hear the door open. I look up to see that a girl has entered the store. She's wearing a vintage jacket and tight shorts that highlight her long limbs and athletic figure. I find myself particularly impressed by her well-defined thighs.
Oha!
Oh.
Suddenly, time stops. It feels like someone has activated the world. The world, interesting. Her eyes are very yellow. That's the thing about the game and the anime is that everyone has like different colored eyes. The girl is still standing there with her arm in the air. Her smile gradually fades into confusion. What kind of reaction was she hoping for? Seriously. Anyway, is she the person Mr. Braun was expecting? Maybe she's someone he knows personally. Another daughter? Or dare I say, his girlfriend? She finally drops her pose and clears her throat.
さっき電話したあまねです。
And just like that, time starts moving again.
ああ、バイトの面接したいって子な。
job interview.
俺が店長の天王寺だ。
バイトの面接だと？こんな若い女性が？この新規臭くておしゃれ感ゼロで繁盛もしておらず無才おっさんが店長のブラウン管工房にバイト希望だというのか？
おめえ、来月から2階の家賃1000円増しな。
俺は事実を言ったまでですよ。もっとも部外者が口を出す問題ではないが、しかしブラウン管工房がバイトを募集していたともな。この暇さではその必要性を全く感じないのだが。
ああ、それは私が電話で無理って頼んだんです。
The girl looks a little embarrassed.
最初は断られたんだけどさ、店長さんにどうしてもお願いしますって。
That's honestly surprising.
今時珍しい若者がいたもんだよな。ま、そこの椅子に座んな、お嬢ちゃん。
失礼します。
Looks like they're going to have a formal interview. I was going to leave, but since Mr. Braun hasn't kicked me out, I'll stick around a little bit longer. The girl's expression is stiff. I guess she's nervous. Just because of a part-time job interview? Now, truthfully, job interviews are kind of nervous. Or nerve-wracking. In contrast to how she said she wouldn't take no for an answer, she doesn't seem so enthusiastic.
で、名前は何だって？
あまねすずはです。
年は
18。
Same as me.
学生？
She shakes her head.
なんでうちで働きたいんだ？
ブラウン管が好きだから。
Because I love CRTs. What a liar.
採用。明日から来い。
Hired to start tomorrow. I wish I could get a job that easy.
それでいいのか？というかこれはコントか？もしかして仕込みか？
Have I been punked?
ありがとう、店長さん。
Finally, Amane Suzuha seems to relax. Then she looks at me.
ところでさ、君は誰？
俺のな。聞きたいというのか？いや、やめておけ。それを知ることでお前にも最悪が降りかかるかもしれん。これまでも多くの人が俺の名を知ったことで機関に狙われた。アメリカのサラ、イタリアのクラウディア、フランスのシモーヌ。これ以上誰かを危険な目に遭わせるわけには。
おい、アホな妄想してんじゃねえよ。
He just doesn't understand my pain.
このバカ男は2階に間借りしてる岡部倫太郎ってんだ。
岡部ではない。俺はホーイン。
うるせえ。家賃さらに1000円上乗せするぞ。
岡部倫太郎だ。
The girl stands up, places her hand on my shoulder, and looks at me with a serious expression.
君を狙ってるその期間ってのが何なのかわかんないけど、もし困ってんなら私に相談して。岡部倫太郎、そういうの慣れてるからさ。
は
Stuff like what?
場合によっては手段を選ばず痛めつけてやることも可能だし。
Mr. Brown、彼女は採用しない方がいいと思う。
ああ、物騒だな。騒ぎ起こしたらクビにするからな。そもそもその期間なんたらは岡部の創作だから本気にすんな。
創作？
せいぜいそう思ってるがいいさ。
But someday the world will kneel before me. And then Amane Suzuha stares straight at me again. Maybe she has a habit of looking people in the eye.
そういうのが流行ってんだ。勉強になったよ。
Trend? I don't think so. What an odd girl. Alright. And this is where we'll stop. Because we're out of time, but we're going to take a quick look at the tips again. It's kind of weird that they're called tips, isn't it? Someone this cute can't be a girl. It's an unwritten rule to use this phrase whenever you see someone who looks like a cute girl, but is either of unspecified gender or actually a boy. Okay. So another saying that I'm not terribly familiar with. Was there? No, I didn't miss anything. There weren't as many this time, I think. Maybe. Okay, Bladeworks. I believe that's a store, one of several stores in Akihabara that sells replica weapons. Items include Japanese Sengoku period swords, European middle-aged swords, and knight armor. It's just like a reproduction store. Now, Kamima. Comet Giga Market. I believe, it's based off of a real thing that happens in Japan. It's called, like, Comet or something, I think. A massive otaku event held twice a year at Tokyo Big Sight. Every Kamima, thousands of artists gather to sell their creations, which range from erotic manga based on popular anime to original figures, music, and games. And it's basically just a bunch of otaku nerds, for lack of a better word, gathering together and selling their own publications and stuff. Fujoshi, a term for a female otaku with a particular interest in... Oh, gosh. Okay. Karai-chan, the heroine of Rainu Night Karu. Cool. And I think that's it. I think we've read everything. Oh, Miko. Shrine maidens, priestesses in the Shinto religion. Miko typically dressed in a white kimono with a red hakama or skirt, and they assist priests. And I think, oh no, there's more stuff. Onusa, that was that thing, that was the stick with the weird paper or whatever. It's used as a blessing ritual to ward off evil spirits. Pedestrian haven. Some neighborhoods of Tokyo, such as Akihabara, close major streets on busy shopping days. Okay, that's cool. That kind of reminds me of, because it was also in Akihabara, The World Ends With You. It's not quite the same thing. Well, it might be a little bit. But they have the scramble where they stop all traffic and allow pedestrians to go wherever they want. Kind of like that. I think, yeah, okay, now we're done. So, this is where I'm going to stop. Keep in mind, this is the second episode I've made in a row, so if anyone said anything on the last episode, it wasn't applied to this video. But I still will be reading comments as usual. I'll just be a little bit more taxed on time because of this holiday weekend. So, I'm making these early. So anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!